So let's go to the practical part of today when we talk about practical tips on how actually we can start the process, or go on the next level of the process of faith, and how
Yes.
actually what practical advice you have people can really strengthen their faith and
Yes.
be connected more with their faith.
Yeah. I think the first thing I would say about this, Dimi, is, dedicate time for it, right?
Mm,
So the thing is, so many people say, I want to do something, right? But if you look at how their day looks like, there's no place for it. And therefore, these values are not going to come alone, right? They have to be built and nurtured, right? I think one thing that would express this nicely would be, you will always hear that the grass is greener on the other side, right? But it's important to realize that the grass is greener where you water it. Okay, so it's the values that you are nurturing, that you are spending your time upon, that you are actually consciously caring about, that will become important for you. Yeah. So if you allow yourself to get sunk, because look, I think one of the good TED talks from Nancy Eckloff is about the two motivation system that you have, right? We have two hormones, dopamine and oxytocin, right? Dopamine is the one responsible for wanting, right? When this hormone makes things attractive for us, right? So you want something and you want to go for it. It actually gives you the rush, basically, correct? And oxytocin is the other way, right? It's the one that actually, all right, I'm satisfied, I'm content, I like that. Okay. So here, what usually happens, is we get hung up on dopamine.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. So when the dopamine system, takes you over, you are continuously wanting and striving for something, and you don't have time or space to shift to the other system where you kind of savor and accept and feel gratified. You don't have it because you're hung up on the other system, and that's where, right, I would say, for people who want to kind of enhance their faith, have a time for it, right? And learn about it, be curious about it and give it time, invest in that, because it's worth it, right? This is the thing that will answer for you the bigger questions.
Yeah,
right.
Absolutely.
Why I'm here, what's required from me, what's good, what's not, what's moral, what's the best, and all this. So it is worth it to spend time and to invest time looking into it and comparing information and using our minds, to reach the conclusions that will be satisfactory, for us, and that will guide us for the rest of our lives, right? So I mean, a common mistake is not to put it on your priority list and think that it will happen alone, right? No, the dopamine is the default, right? This is what happens if you don't do anything, but you need to exert conscious effort. You need to put in the energy, right, to get yourself out of the dopamine mode and put some kind of composure, right, into your pattern a little more. So the other thing I would say about this, Dimitar, is knowing is not enough, right? So knowing is not enough, and this is one of the things I learned in the course, right? The Dr. or Professor Laurie Santos, she calls it the G.I. Joe fallacy, right? It seems that the G.I. Joe animation was saying knowing is half the battle. The character says knowing is half the battle, and she says this is the G.I. Joe fallacy, right? Knowing is not half the battle when it comes to that. So you have to experience it, right? If you really want that, and you will need to experience it, you will need to try things differently. Okay, you want to take some of your time to savor your blessings. Okay, that's an assignment, that's a homework for you to do. You want to take some time to meditate and think about the Creator, contemplate and all that. you need to take some time to read, about belief and about, the doctrines, about the, what you're, searching for, the truth, right? That's important. So it is about experiencing. Again, I'll tell you, cognitive biases are there. It's like optical illusions. We will fall for them every time, right?
Yes.
Right? Unless you put in the conscious effort, and you take that leap of faith. You have the courage to, go against the dopamine default system.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a well said, man.
Yes, there are some practical advice as well that people can check out, in the science of well-being, like rethinking, what the awesome stuff that we, normally crave for. And, we have to rethink that. We have to do something to thwart our hedonic adaptation, right? The adaptation that we've got, all the good things that we have around us. We need to take a pause and really, appreciate them. So it is quite important. And, I would, say, finally, as an advice, for people who are trying to find their purpose, I would say, find your faith, right? And everything else will fall in place.
I love it, man. That's a well said quote, I would say. And I just wanted to ask to share with the audience my opinion on that. That actually is very connected to what you already said. As everything, if you want to have more faith, you need to practice it. And by practicing faith, when people say, sometimes people see it as abstract, but it's not. Like, some people practice faith with prayers. Other people practice faith with meditation, with mindfulness. Other people do it like gratitude journal, like you said, savoring the experiences. That's also practicing faith, because you actually count your blessings, as you said. You count your achievements, if you'd said. All of these things which people hear somewhere there in the personal growth and world, they're part of this practicing faith thing. Because in this way, you really see that life is great. It's not like you need to go and find something to get the next thing in order to be happy. Because actually, as you said, the dopamine system, which we believe is the only system to have to activate reward system in our mind, is not. And the way you said it is like you can make a pivot from that. You can go from dopamine to oxytocin system, and you can create a completely different will there. But then you have way more actually control on that will, because you can practice it every day and you don't depend on circumstances. And I think that's the biggest point here, that in this way you can actually get the action in your own hands and create happiness and lead yourself towards happiness and fulfillment by practicing faith in this way.
Look, I see a quote behind you for Marcus Aurelius, right? One of the techniques that he was using was actually to make things a bit tough for himself. So let's say you have a car, right? But you want to actually appreciate the blessings you've got, right? So you say, look, for 1 week, I'm not going to use my car. Then you're going to experience how it's like, and how blessed you are to have it, right? So you see, these things are not easy. They are not easy, Dimitar. But that's what I'm saying, right? Look at how people can fast, right? When you fast, you deprive yourself of food and or food and drink for a period of time, and all this. So it is, it takes quite some discipline, to kind of quiet the noise and be able to focus on it.
Yes, absolutely. So thank you for everything you shared here. I really appreciated your time, your energy, your wisdom. It was pleasure for me to talk. Every time it's like this, but now I'm super happy that more people are going to hear of this wisdom. And I just wanted to ask you, if people wants to, for example, talk to you or ask you something, is there a way to connect to you in a way?
Yes, sure. How do you normally do it? Do you prefer email, or you want to Facebook,
whatever you feel like, what is your best way
Sure.
I just want to share, guys. Waddaa is working. He's full time. Person who is working in the area we already showed. But if
Sure.
you want to ask him a question, maybe connect to him. Yeah, what's the best way for you? Is it LinkedIn? Is it
Look,
email?
I'll send you. Yeah, I'll send you everything. I'll send you the
Yeah,
email. I send you the Facebook and stuff, and people can choose whatever channel. I'm not a very frequent user of social media, but from time to time I kind of pop in. Generally speaking, but
yeah,
I hope that people ask me. I hope they find it interesting. I hope they find it helpful. So uh, uh, I really kind of know that the time was limited, but I hope that they find it interesting to explore more about it.
yes, absolutely. So, what is your before we go? One sentence. What's your message towards people before we finish today?
Well, my general message is: look, um, the scientific method of thinking, has taken over in many ways, that it has limited many people's sort of horizon. But the it doesn't need to be. It's not on a collision course. Faith is so important, and it's true. It has our happiness, our well-being, our moral compass. It offers us really the best in this life. It protects us from the worst of this life. So I invite everyone to try to do their best, right, to optimize on that.
Thank you, man. Thank you, and have a lovely March, guys. We're gonna be with us in this month, and you're gonna hear, you're gonna be part of this great journey of faith. Thank you, Waddaa, and have a lovely day.
Thank you so much. Thanks, Dimi. Thanks.